drawing, giving them that slim chance of making sure that they get to a better way. All this shall be in the roundup right here, and the wrap-up that will be coming up. We did see also Paida Black Angels having a game yesterday with Calvary Football Club. Probably a couple of other games in the FUFA Big League took place that we shall be wrapping up here. And I'll be giving you how the table standings also are like right there. Now with me is Toko Badru TOK, who of course I should say has very many posts, but for here we are talking about is, by the way, the I think he should be the PR or at the same time a coordinator, the general coordinator for that is the Farouk Daku in of course let's say Uganda, in case anything and the rest. I think I've not given you a bigger title or less title, I don't know, but he will be telling us right now. Toko, welcome.
Thank you very much. Most of my positions are former, so I'm the former media officer, West Nile Province, won a trophy and probably very excited about it. Former media PRO and media officer Aziz Damani Doves All Stars, where probably you stepped in to replace.
Yeah. I don't know why. There's some coincidence every time. Wherever you step a bit.
Are you taking the province job?
No, I'm not taking the province job.
Because I just left last year. And, you're really contemplating. Well, I was at Paida Black Angels about I think 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's probably where the journey got interesting. But like you said, I have some responsibilities currently. I'm with Tuambe Sports Health Club, doing the media work and PR. Representing Farouk Daku, that's Balangum events in Africa, mostly based in Uganda. And so our Africa headquarters are in Oluko. So,
by the way,
yes.
That's so interesting. Very many could think that's not the headquarters, would be. Someone would be expecting maybe the headquarters to be, I don't know, but true. Africa, I've gone there, at least I've seen.
Even Kampala comes here, so basically, I want to start all these updates by taking a time to thank every other person who turned up for the Agao Memorial Match. I do remember, I don't remember the last time I went to Greenlight. I went for this particular game, and I went at 4:30 when the game was already underway. I had a small function of fundraising at halftime. I would like to thank every other person who turned in there, or who turned up in there, perhaps who managed to pay. I paid 5,000 at the ordinary section, and I think the first time I paid money in a while. I want to thank the fans who turned up in there, the Friends of Agao. I want to appreciate our patron of West Nile Province, my former EXCOM member, Ajat Medina Naham, who contributed $1 million shillings and probably promised to give more. I want to thank Mr. David Majo Carvino, who probably supported the late when he was still alive, and probably with the surgery that costed close to, that had cost close to 10 millions, and offered 500,000 Ugandan shillings, with 500,000 Ugandan shillings coming in from the Wases Primary School. And then they have promised to, pay one of the children, and actually give one of the children opportunity to study in there. And this probably comes after a number of offers came through, including in Tuambe giving 200,000 Ugandan shillings, and of course also giving the children opportunity to probably be able to exercise and build onto their football skills. There was 100,000 Ugandan shillings that will come from the managing director, Prince Palace and Prince Fuel Station. And then 100,000 Ugandan shillings coming from Malengum events. That's Daku Farouk, and probably that was an exciting one with all those who contributed, and of course $1 million shillings that I picked yesterday, a physical that I made to hand over to the officials. That was from Royal Evans. I think you can still do the same by supporting the project. They need about 35 millions. Out of the 35 millions, I think we haven't even reached half mark of this particular one. I want to thank the Players Association in West Nile for standing with Agao Rashid, probably one of the most skilled, disciplined footballers that the region probably saw in a way. May his soul rest in eternal peace. That aside, I should be able to inform you about Daku Farouk, the Malengum events, Amsterdam, and probably yesterday we did a media tour. We were able to go to Oluko. That's after we visited the graveyard of Daku Farouk Balangum's mom, that is Zohairia. That probably was to be one of the most exciting and most emotional times. The mother died in 1985, the year I was born. And you just imagine, this guy has been an orphan for 40 years. And then we also visited the home of the man who raised Daku Farouk, Barnabas Ayot, or Oyot, and probably also visited the auntie who probably was responsible for raising him. Now, we took a time to go to our headquarters, like I said, our global headquarters at Aibiri, that is in Anyawasel, Wandiwad, and in Ive East. Well, we had an amazing time. We probably proceeded to Bairo Falls with a team that comprised of journalists, the artists, performing artists, MCs, relatives, and of course influential persons in the community. And I want to thank every other person who turned up in there, and it was lit. Now that aside, there is something coming up in here in terms of the boxing club. That means there will be Malengumu, a boxing club, and there will be events, promotions, especially boxers signing contracts before they get into the boxing ring. And that's why we'll probably expect the likes of Razaks, the likes of Saudas to come in and probably be able to do the job. We want to thank every other person who was actually in there physically and made it quite a big success in there. Finally, allow me to update you about the big partnership between stakeholders and Tuambe. Now, Tuambe Health Club officially introduces the star hours that probably certainly will cater for the artists, the MCs, the DJs, the radio presenters, TV presenters, or probably journalists and influential persons, which probably could be about in a week, 2 hours. In the 2 hours, those who want to go to the gym, because the gym will be at work effective 26th of this particular month. Those who want to get into the gym, those who want to play football probably have that. And possibly, we're having discussions, and I think it might be a Sunday, because I think Sunday is a day that somebody can actually choose to do something for himself or herself. During this particular launch yesterday, CEO of Tuambe, that is Jamal Tuambe, probably did actually say that the media or probably the artists and influential persons play a big role. So that means something big is coming. Now, Tuambe Fitness Club has a roundup, or the Tuambe Fitness Roundup, that probably could be taking place on Sunday, the 26th of January 2025, and to be starting at 7 a.m. There are already people who are buying tickets at 10,000 individuals, and then those who are buying as companies or institutions are buying at 200,000 Ugandan shillings. But the advantage is that you don't have a limitation on numbers. If you pay 200,000, you can decide to come with the whole people who are working at the company, and that's the beauty in there. This will be hosted by Tiote, who probably is also known as Mr. Sizwan Sweat, and of course there will be other instructors like Mehdi Muslim, there will be Yashir as well coming through. There will be stretches, gymnastics, there will be step aerobics, there will be stretches, water break, step aerobics, there's stretches and stomach workout, and then walking aerobics. So that probably means this will be a very big one, and their partners in Tuambe itself, Omia, and of course many more. I want to say during this time we'll probably have coverage in terms of the West Nile TV, the only TV we'll have. But Owen, what makes me excited is that Arua now finally has a home, especially when it comes to the Tuambe Sports Arena or probably the health club. Now the beauty is that now the first-class gym is in place, and then as they will be launching this particular project, the gym will be operational, and for those who have ever been there, there has been a big change. Lately, there is a workout in terms of trying to set something that will cater for every other person out there, because I think it's one of the big places to be in. And I would like to say that the partnership between Tuambe and West Nile TV has probably reached an epic stage, and it has given Tuambe the much needed audience. And as a person who probably does a bit of the communications over there, I would like to take this opportunity to thank this amazing TV for the perfect work. And I would like to invite you guys to come over and be part of the session in there. I don't know when the last time you probably stepped out and worked for so, but you're looking good. As a young man, for me, I'm a day away from making 40 years. So that certainly tells you that if I can be able to be with you and probably work out together, we can generate something for ourselves.
All right, thank you so much, Toko. I think that's a good initiative. I'm loving the idea of Daku trying to get through. Why am I loving it? Is because I just said he has that heart for West Nile. There are very many people, sports personnel, who have left West Nile and have shown interest in doing something different. But Daku is sticking to what exactly he's supposed to do, where exactly he falls. It's just like you going we're here with you, and you ventured something different, and I ventured something different. But at last, I don't give it back to the community. So I was very impressed. First of all, I'm sorry that I couldn't turn up for that because I was caught up. But when I watched the news, looked at what exactly happened, I was very excited that such a thing happened. And the speeches and the rest of the things that came through gave me the courage that, yes, this is worth supporting, worth going through, and worth pushing this. Because if not us, then who else would be this? Someone is coming all the way from chartering maybe jet, or getting sure that gets air ticket to fly all the way that way to come and do charity at home. Just imagine, that's a very, very big sign. I think I would love to send, of course, a request to the rest of the personnel that every sportsman, you have something, let's come back home and develop home. That's going to be very, very important. And the stakeholders, I want to also thank them, because you look at what is coming in. The media is, every media house, I'm seeing them getting involved in everything that is coming. Though you would maybe have a different characters, one or two who would not be in position, but I'm seeing that the media house is also loving. So this is a good initiative to see that you get yourself together with this. So stakeholding is always very key to make sure something grows. And I believe for us as West Nile TV, we are here to give the support, and we shall. I can assure you that it's always going to be a sure deal. Good enough, you talked about the late Agao memorial match. Yes, I did see the media team also being involved. A game that ended 1-1, very interesting. Then you saw how the the Acholi team, all the way from Acholi land, coming to West Nile to support a brother. This shows something very, very interesting. So I think it's all about what do you have. Because I remember when we went to Acholi, a saga that happened when was it Acholi? No, it was in Lango. But where they failed to open the gates for training session for the players, and you saw what happened. But in the meantime, you saw the issue just being calmed instantly. So brotherhood, friendship, I think it's very, very key. Now, about that, I love with the COC coming up with a target, because that is always what we were advocating for, that, you know what, let's have a target that if we are looking for 50 million, let's say we are looking for 50 million, whatever is got, we bring on board. This does not stop, because this memorial can be played maybe yearly to see that we generate, still help the family of late Agao. So this is one thing I've loved. The Major Carabinos, who have always been supportive towards sports. I've loved the way the names, like you've mentioned, the different companies, or WASIS has always been so supportive. Very, very interesting. And this gives a reason to see that this, even me, maybe my bosses would be finding me, why am I mentioning WASIS? But they have given. Trust me, they have given, and that is already a mileage for them. And that is why they get it. Exactly.
The kings and queens are probably coming out in the first, first five days, and giving the children bursary in the schools. I think what we're just trying to look for is, can we have people who can be able to help the children? Because we're trying to look at having another GAU, possibly in these kids. But then the challenge may be, how do we look at the long term? Because already, the fact that Agao played for Nduparaka Football Club, the biggest football club we have in the country, it gives him a mileage, and for the family. So it is upon the family now to keep that touch. Because if this can be an annual event, and as long as it's okay with the Nduparaka Football Club, it is okay with the province, it's okay with the region, it's okay with the Federation of Uganda Football Associations, I think it will be good. But it's also good to have the game when actually it's break time. Because basically, players will have the opportunity to come and showcase and probably be able to support. But what Acholi did was also quite unique. Probably majority of the players are regional league players, dominated by Pajule Lions, probably that did have number of players in there. So to me, I think this was a big success. And every other person who contributed, perhaps when he was still alive, that's Agao Rashid, and probably when he passed on, should be able to take that in a good faith. It's not a competition as you think the stadium should be filled up. That was for a purpose.
But the stadium, in fact, the
purpose for me was served. The purpose was served because every other person who went there had a reason to go there. Apart from the presence, there were prayers. And so I think everyone has a role to play. The two beloved children of the late, from the look alone, you may even think you're seeing him. So it motivates. And I think the only thing we can now do as West Nile is to try and look at can we have the province put some percentage in every gate collection to support the late? Can we have Onduparaka Football Club probably put a small percentage every game to support the late? Can we have a basket in matches to attain the target? And can we have this COC add numbers in terms of the strength from the business community, from the religious sector, from the political sector? Because for me, one of the things I did was I told people openly there's no protocol here. This is a funeral. In a funeral, everyone is a mourner. So in a circumstance, you come in there and of course so much like try to avoid politics. Yeah, because, you know, we have feelings and sometimes some of the things we cannot take them away. But I think it is valid when you, Owen, and TOK, we come in together, maybe we're vying for the same ball we have in here. And then somewhere, we think we're serving a purpose. We pull the ball situation aside, we serve the purpose. So West Nile, we need to unite. We need to support our own. And we need to have that harmony. We need to have the love. That will take us far.
Already a lot of talks came through. Of course, always you will be expecting some negative energy somewhere. But my only request is that most of the times when such things happen, people go back and sideline the widow. You get me? And after all this, I want to say that let's help this as the COC, as every other person, let's help this woman and the children. Because we will not get surprised where you are going to see that this family has kicked off the woman. I'm just giving an example. Certain things that have happened. And then the woman is no more, and then the kids start suffering. So let's do it to make sure that they late rests in peace, knowing that this is, someone was telling me the dead are not dead.
And I think,
watching.
Yeah, you brought a valid point. And this reason I got Majid, the brother to the late, I told him, go and, you know, these people have got to know you. I got the late's wife and the children. And I think the purpose is simple. Even his parents were there. So in another way, some of these things that are done in here shouldn't stop at the COC. Yeah. The COC is just a temporary body that is built in place to make sure that things work out. There is a very bigger COC. The main COC should be the family. Everything that happens there, the family should be consulted, and there should be the religious messers, the cultural, you know, messers. And of course, at this point, what we can only do is to support the late. Whatever the late was doing is what we need to do.
All right, off from there, that was another good one. I hope it shall continue for all this, and of course, more of the people who probably move the numbers that may grow every time and now. So we need to put that. And this shouldn't stop with Later Go. Of course, that's my request, that the West Nilers, let's support this and make sure that things go. Not only West Nilers, Ugandans, that's the big thing. We saw even sometime back when the link was that he had gone to Biasara United to play, and a lot of things that came through. And then, you know, I'm just trying to make that football can expand and expose you. So it's one big one. I want to thank every other person who came through. Now let me go away from there. There's a struggle coming, and of course an initiative from the Kuluva Rainbow team that is going to be playing Maida Football Club on. It's going to be on 25th. That's a Saturday, I think, this coming Saturday. And there are a lot of things that are coming towards raising fund here and there. Now, this body has come up with an initiative of growing, of course, making nights, just like how Dondu Nights and the rest are coming up.
The Kuluva Night.
So now they are making it the Rainbow Night for that is generating. And this time around they had to partner up with a nearby source. Of course, one of them is Dreamland. Then you have Universe Launch. The issue is every collection, they will be having part of this money to fund the team. Now, you look at how this would be for a regional league team. That means they are able to honor games because the fans are getting in there. There's an initiative of the Singrinyani shirt. You've seen how they are. They say their motto is Singrinyani, and they are trying to come up with that initiative of selling out T-shirts, getting sure things work out. How good would that be for a regional league idea?
Well, I think if you look at a club like Kuluva, that is probably a community-based club, and with the neighborhood, somebody would think Kuluva was probably at some point a village. And then Dreamland, boom, comes in, and probably one of the biggest hotels we have in town. Now, when they entered this partnership, I think it was Metro, the CEO of Dreamland, and during one of the initial sittings, I was there. Now, one thing that I recommend people there to be able to do is the inclusivity. And it's very nice to have Universe launch as well come through and probably do their part. Because we have different categories of people. There are people who will never step into Dreamland,
True.
but they will be comfortable getting into the universe. The only thing is the paperwork. If the paperwork is done, sealed, my only urge is to call on people to not just wait for those happenings, but also to be able to extend support. Bosco, who probably is the vice president, the vice chairman of the region, has had contributions and to a level that he volunteered as a team doctor or a physiotherapist when we probably won the trophy in 2022, and he has actually been one of the most iconic persons in there. When you look at the squad, there are a number of very important players in there, and I think the Uganda Cup would give them opportunity to market their players and even be able to do business with the StarTimes Uganda Premier League teams. It is a very positive move, and that's one of the things the clubs have got to do. The aspect of branding and visibility depends on how you do it. Like yesterday, I had a discussion with Lactic Sports. Ngai Moko Ali, who probably is the CEO of Lactic Sports India. One of the things he was sharing with me, I was seeing the branded T-shirts. You get a T-shirt at 10,000, you brand it at 5,000. You get a T-shirt at 15, you brand at 5. And these are T-shirts here that we can sell at 50. So basically, in a bit of improving our visibility, we should be able to understand that when I see Owen, I see him in the branded West Nile TV shirt, he should be able to motivate, should be able to create something. It is the same thing that you need to do in a way of trying to keep people awake in terms of, sometimes we get excited, we do some things a short way, and they get to disappear. So basically, I think Kuluva have set the bar high that many clubs have got to follow, and the important thing is the aspect of accountability. Every time they go to Universe launch, they make some money, they should declare we got
the issue is
of course 500,000.
Exactly.
And this has been the percentage, and it motivates people more. I believe if they are fair organized on 25th, they may not just go and fulfill the fixture, but they can also be able to progress to the next round. What about if they get Vipers at home? What about if they get KCCA? They may even reach a stage and say, let's allow you to green light. See that? It is possible.
True.
The small money is made, they should be able to improve in the place. And Big League probably is also calling on them. So those are important things.
Yeah, there's that possibility.
Record in the region was...
They're number second behind the Udamachaku Football Club, 3 points.
Yeah.
And this is a team now, the only challenge there is that this is a team without a head coach. But the players believe in themselves. They are coached by a player, an infield player, Kubo Brand, who is you should say, a coach player at this time. So you look at all this, it shows you that the team is, trying to surround on believing themselves, putting something in there. They are having Maida, yes, at home here. Then, of course, possibilities, just like you said, of qualifying to the next. That shows you that they are.
But they're coming against a very organized side. Maida is a team that is formerly, actually, it's now a team that is rebranded into that school, Amus College. Now it's actually more of Amus. So some of the familiar figures probably could be in there. Boys who are from West Nile could as well be able to play in there. Now, the beauty would be if we can be able to fill in that stadium to capacity, because receiving these guys, hosting them, may probably be another hassle in there. But I would also wish if the Maida team could put up at Dreamland and could give opportunity for the people there to have a glimpse of how nice they are, because a team that has a means of transport, a team that is financially doing well, is coming to West Nile. So we need to give Kuluva enough.
All right, that's another big one from that side of the region. But at the same time, I want to say that there was anxiety as, of course, the first round of, that is the FUFA Big League, climaxed yesterday, 2024-2025 season. I'm talking about a very big thing it was. And if you look at what exactly happened, a couple of teams played and results also came through. One of them was the game between Gaddafi and Kataka. You did see Buhimba, Sense and Chiinda that played, and then Ntungasaze, Karunji, Maida Football Club and Chigezi, Arua Hill and Boma, Boma FC. And then you had also Paida Black Angels that played against Calvary Football Club. Now Busoga is yet to play a game that is today, as Arua Hill did beat Team Boma by 2-0 at their home in Peche. And then Buhimba lost to Chiina Boys by 2-1, whereas Gaddafi Football Club played a goalless draw with Kataka Football Club yesterday Maida Football Club also did play against Chigezo Homeboys, a game that ended into a draw, 1-1. Karo Karunji played with, of course, Ntunga Saze, a game that ended 3-2, where Ntunga Saze won that game. Then, of course, Paida Black Angels and Calvary game was a draw, which was 0-0. Now, Calvary Football Club went to a Paida Black Angel that had just recently changed management. I can see the familiar faces all back into the team. The ones that were there before, including even Hamza, who had resigned. You saw on social media, he had said bye-bye, but he's back into the team. So all those are some of the things that have come through India. But the management from the president, CEO, and the rest who were there last season, I mean at the start of the season, are no more at Paida. Interesting one for them yesterday, after they had gotten a win away from home, now coming back here and got a draw against Calvary Football Club that beat Onduparaka 1-0 at their own home at Midigo Grounds. This shows you what exactly the team is trying to be like. And someone asked me this yesterday, don't I think Calvary is going to go for Star Times Uganda Premier League this season?
Well, the question would be, because the opportunities are in there, and even Onduparaka, and even Paida Black Angels. The beauty is that the clubs are competing well. There's no club that is at survival level, and that's why the most interesting part of it comes in there. But if you look at the big league general, I think it has been a hassle. The number of things that happened to the clubs at the start. Perhaps looking at the trend and the aspect of accountability, I think the clubs have been doing pretty well. I just saw Paida Black Angels releasing an official statement before midnight yesterday, informing the general public about over 10 million that was collected. And I think one of the things that the guys have done at Paida Black Angels is the club is under the fans, and the fans have decided to probably change a little bit of that leadership in there. But the difference that we have currently is the technical. Because the moment you're going to unsettle your coaches, today you have Hamza, tomorrow you have Lavdi, another day you have Tioke, the club is going to be getting confused because there's no particular time that a particular coach will get into the transfer window and be able to sign players. So at this moment, you probably have to think about what are those essentials, what are the majors, what are the minors. I mean, when you balance your books well, you progress. For me, the big league has become a story. It's a serious story that everyone has got to follow. Well, the teams that are still kind of playing Stanbic Uganda Cup and perhaps even playing the big league, it is more of a hassle because you've got to travel about twice in a week, or probably you have 2 games in a week. And just imagine you have a game in Kabbalah and you have another game in Arua, and this is in a space of 1 week. I mean, that gets to be complicated.
Okay, a very big one, of course, coming in from the big league, but of course a Busoga United game today with Black Spar. What do you expect? Black Spar goes to Busoga?
Well, it's a big game. Black Spar looks to be very organized, and they're probably one of the teams that is hopeful of qualification. But somewhere, Busoga United also made some changes. There's rejuvenation, and the fact that they are hosting this game, they may probably have a little bit of that advantage. But I think Black Spar would be a force to record, and Black Spar's worst result, for me personally, would be a draw away from home. But somewhere, I was looking at the entire management of Lango Province probably getting involved in Black Spar. So in another way, Black Spar looks like Lango Province. So the way they approach games, the way they play, the way they handle things is purely the way the Lango handle it, especially at the province level in there. So it's a beautiful thing to take the experience from the club, from the province to club, and that also transfers love. What I would want to see the people in Lango do is to come fully behind this football club the way they come for FIFA draft.
Okay.
The numbers would count.
All right. Now, Big League ends with Gaddafi finishing, of course, on top. Well, I should say with 30 points first round. Of course, they have managed to collect 30 points in the first round, Gaddafi. And then you have Black Spar that is yet to play another game, but they have 29 points already. Could they finish on top if they win today? Yes. Of course, there would be 32 points. And then Calvary with 25 points at number 3, whereas you have the team of Buhimba Sensa with 23 points, and the team of Onduparaka Football Club at number 5 with 22 points, whereas Paida Black Angels at number 6 with 20 points, and Kataka Football Club at number 7 with 20 points. And then you have the team of Chinda Boys with 19 points, Karo Karunji at number 9 with 16 points, Bomba with 16 points, Ntunga Saze at number 11 with 15 points. Now the red zone has Chigezo Homeboys 14, Busoga United 14, and then you have Arua Hill with 13, while Mida Football Club Omaida with 6 points. That means they have only won once in their game right there. That's how exactly the big league is. Before we get off for a break, or before we get off, there was the saga of the man by the names of the referee, William Oloya, you saw the story. How bad is that for him as a referee? You've been in the world of sports for quite a long time. Now, for William, he has even been a FIFA, I think, referee who has moved and traversed the country or the world in there.
Well, it's a mixed one. West Nile, I would want to side with him and say my brother has never been wrong. And surely he may never be wrong. He's not, computer, he's a human being. There could be errors. But I want to understand something from the aspect of the politics in the game. The last time he got suspended, he was sent to school. And he came back. He bounced very strong. And I think internally there could be issues that they want to work on. There are referees that have made bigger mistakes. Ali Tumsanga, I think you heard about him. When Spain was playing in 2010, was it there was World Cup?
World Cup 2010 was in South Africa.
He scored a clear goal that Tumsange declared offside. The way he drew his lances, he was sent packing. Wilberforce Olaya, who probably is an engineer by profession somewhere, had a small issue that
of not recording the yellow card.
The social media, journalists decided to put it out of context, and it has caused him issues. Now, what I've learned here is that even if you are having your last times, there are certainly going to be people who are looking at the other side of you. So Oloya may probably be able to face the law, but importantly, I have known Oloya as a very, very aggressive and very principled, hardworking guy, and I believe he has a point as well to prove. He is innocent until when proven guilty, and this being football, there are already things in place in case he's guilty that he will undergo, but in case he's innocent, I think the persons who have brought these allegations against him should as well be able to come out, because the aspect of having records is important, but not only one person has records.
What about the rest?
The assistant referee, the assistant referees from the first assistant, second to the third, all have responsibility, even including in the match assessor. They've got a responsibility of looking through this particular one, and so if there are reports that are to be generated, it takes a team. So if a lawyer is wrong, then the entire team should be too wrong.
All right, that's a very, very big one, and we're still following the story closely. But